Let's face it, life isn't easy. If you're stuck in a bad relationship, betrayed or afraid of tomorrow, financially insecure or desperate for a breakthrough, you've come to the right place. Dr. Carmen Harra is a renowned psychologist, intuitive, relationship expert, and best-selling author, and she's here to give you the miracle guidance you need. Her new call-in show, Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life, offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Dr. Harra's show aims to eliminate everyday problems, big and small, with topics like healing your relationships, reclaiming your power, achieving better health, dealing with loss, and so much more. Regain the joy, stability, and fulfillment you deserve to feel. Tune in to Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life with host Dr. Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and find the answers you've been looking for.
Good evening, everybody, and I hope you are safe and ready to listen to my show. And you are very welcome to another episode of Miracle Guidance, the show that offers you guidance to transform your life. And we need to transform our lives right now. My name is Carmen Harra, and so it's always such a pleasure and such an honor to be with you every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and with my producer, Christopher, here on OMTimes Radio. And the subject today is about compatibility. I know that you and your partner want to be compatible and believe in compatibility. But what makes some people stick together for a lifetime and other people break apart in a few months or a year or two? Because there are relationships that start off strong with incredible chemistry, then others, very quickly fall apart and both partners lose interest. So my question is to you, do you have an explanation? And if you don't, you are listening to the right show. And if you say, well, I'm going through something like this right now after 1 year of being with somebody, after 5 years of being with somebody, we are going to separate because we're not the same people like years ago when we got engaged or when we got married. So believe it or not, compatibility is a subject that's misunderstood by many of us. And in my practice, I've heard my patient, my clients referring a lot to this topic, and they say things like, oh, I didn't feel any chemistry, or completely the opposite, we're totally compatible. And when I ask them to define chemistry compatibility, they usually say, compatibility is that kind of a spark, and they imply that is that kind of a gut feeling that produces butterflies in your stomach, and like sharing the same laugh, or just getting along because you have the same hobbies and you know how to hold a great conversation together. But this action only skim the surface of authentic compatibility, because two people have to match on the level of a way deeper level, the level of the soul, the level of the self, to be considered really compatible. There are so many ingredients that participate in a compatibility. So I would love to talk to you tonight about the truth of compatibility, chemistry, and about that special glue that holds two people together. And what is it? You're going to ask me, and I will talk to you about it. So I want you to stick around. It's going to be a fun hour. I'm going to also talk to everybody calling me tonight, and I have a lot of people from Lauren to Leilani, Rosemary to Linda to Rose in California, and a call from Canada. I'm going to actually start with Canada in a minute because she's waiting for more than 30 minutes to talk to me. So you guys are wonderful, and I so appreciate all your calls. So before I go and take your calls, I just want to make my point for another 2-3 minutes, because we've been looking at the chemistry concept from all the wrong angles. Reality is, in my opinion, that chemistry fades in time. So it's exactly like in all honesty, those fireworks wear out, and if they do, then what remains? So another inconvenient truth is that people change. We change over time. We're not the same people we were a year ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago when you got married. So when you meet your partner, he might be on the same path with you. You probably might have all the things, or you might have liked all the things he liked and practiced the same activities, but you probably might have thought at that point, whoa, that's great, we share so many things in common. But a year later, 5 years, 10 years later, you know, those things, so many things in common, not there anymore. And then you look at that person and almost like look at him like he's not the same person. So certain events might cause you to see the world with different eyes. You and your partner might grow to like completely separate things, engage in different activities. You both go older, both get older, and perception shifts, and the partner you fell in love with can be literally transformed into a new person. So what then? You'll find asking yourself, where is the man, or where is the woman I fell in love with? So this is the point in which some people decide to split. And that's why we see so many separations, so many divorces. I had a patient the other day, and he was telling me that he's divorcing his wife because all of a sudden he realized he's not in love with her anymore. Because she took a trip somewhere visiting her family, and he was alone for 2 months. And in those 2 months of isolation, he realized he enjoyed so much to be by himself that he decided that he needs to get rid of her, and even, you know, decide to go on a divorce and even sort of separate from his own kids, because he had such a great satisfaction being by himself. You know, people change. And I said, where is the woman you knew before? And he said, I don't know what happened to me. I have no idea. So you see, people change. Some people choose to stay together and choose to compromise because they share the same house or they share money. So splitting would be too much of a headache, and that is very difficult to do. Though those fireworks are not there anymore, it's hard for them, you know, to go through a separation. So where did the people find people who find themselves in the predicament go wrong? Where did they go wrong? The answer is that they didn't do anything wrong, but they have jumped into a relationship in the beginning without looking towards the future. And that's what happened. We very quickly get married without projecting that situation in time. You know, we might have relied on a false notion of chemistry and thought that this will be forever. This leads to the question, how do you recognize when you share true compatibility with someone versus when you're settling for a temporary relationship, which happens all the time? So if you jump into a relationship that lacks true chemistry, you'll experience difficulties later on. So the glue won't be there to keep you together. Romance can be strong at the beginning, but that comes and goes. The excitement of physical, even physical intercourse, you know that wears off. The rush of seeing that person also dies as you see them every day. You no longer do the things you used to do together because neither you nor the other person have the same time. Your opinion, your views of the world go the opposite way. You might be Democrat, he's a Republican. I'm just joking. This may sound like a negative scenario, but it's a reality for all long-term relationships. So what does help a relationship transcend the test of time is sharing the same principle of life. When you share principle of life, then that relationship builds a very solid foundation. So what are those principles of life? I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment. And I want you to take them into consideration. But as this is a calling show, you can call in and you can actually talk to my producer and he will connect you with me. The number is 202-570-7057, 202-570-7057. And you can be part of my show and you can share with me all your questions, your concern, probably your concern about what's happening in the world. And if you really want to be my friend on social media, because I always put a lot of information on social media about events. I do a lot of lives, and I answer directly your question. Go to Carmen Harra on Facebook, Carmen Harra on Instagram, and just subscribe to my newsletters. I've always sent videos and interesting, articles and things that I'm doing from different magazines. And this way you're part of my family, so I really appreciate it. And let's continue to be in touch, because in the world we are living in, as disconnected as we are, living in our homes by ourselves, we need to connect emotionally, and at least let this virtual connection through social media continue to exist. And I'm going to talk to you about identifying through compatibility, because I think this is such a powerful topic, because genuine chemistry is founded upon the same principle of life. And this principle must match so that two people can evolve together in the same direction, not against each other, and not losing interest against each other. When the foundation and the principle are the same, two people are growing together and moving in the right direction, then there is no danger of a relationship falling apart. So, and I'm going to go through those principles in a second, but I would love to go and take some of your calls, and I'm going to go straight to Rosemary in Canada, who's waiting for quite a long time. Hi, my lovely Rosemary, and thank you so much for calling me.
Hi, Carmen. How are you?
I'm okay, my love. How are you doing? How is Canada? And how are you?
It's great.
It's great.
I'm
good.
really
good.
well. Thank you. Everything's good.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear somebody really saying, I'm well with all her heart. I can feel that you mean that,
I do.
Good.
I'm looking at this time as a gift.
Oh, that's so beautifully said.
Tonight, my question has to do with your topic. My son, who was paralyzed in a skiing accident, I'm just wondering if he will meet somebody who he has chemistry with and is compatible with, and when will that happen?
Absolutely. I tell you, we all have our other half on earth, There's no such things like we meant to be alone or not, or meant to be disconnected. That's not true. So there is for each of us, there is a partner. There is someone else who will complement us. So I feel like in his case, there's a beautiful soul coming in his life somewhere in the next 1 year, 1 year and a half, and is somebody who will love him for who he is, will love the totality of who he is, will love his experiences, would love the kindness of him, will feel the soul, the connection. No, this is going to be so moving, so emotional, so real, so authentic, versus any other relationship that would be so normal to be. This is an unusual, powerful, one-of-a-kind relationship that's going to touch your heart.
Wow.
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's exactly what I needed to hear.
Yeah, that's exactly what is going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. And just let's wait a little bit and let's put it in motion. Anytime you look at him, close your eyes and put in the universe, this person, allow it for him, do the work for him, because probably he has a harder time accepting it or seeing it, so you seeing it for him. Like in other words, you buy visualization is such a powerful technique of a brain to open doors to infinite possibilities by bringing the things that you desire and touching upon. I put on my Instagram, because I was talking about I want people to listen to everything I'm doing. I put it an interesting meditation. And I want you to, it's called Free Spirit Meditation. I want you to, if you go to my Instagram, you have nothing else to do, just listen to that meditation, because it's exactly almost talking, I talk about your son without using his name, but when I do it, you know, you're going to feel transported in that world when you see that your son can grasp that and bring that in his life. You know, just listen to it and you will understand what I'm talking about. So it's called Free Spirit Meditation. It's almost like I could probably had his soul in mind when I did it. Wow. But listen to it. He might even like to listen, because you don't even have to see me. You're not seeing anything. You're just seeing the divine world. You see the sky, the trees, you know. But you hear the voice that's telling you, take away what is yours and embrace it, and allow it to happen, and open your mind to it. And you indirectly act upon those words, you know, and you start manifesting the things that you are told. It's almost like you reprogram somewhere some neurons in the brain. And immediately right after that, you know, that's the reason that sometimes this type of meditation combined with affirming visualization, they work tremendously in a brain that has been going through a lot and in a way has been damaged by a negative experience, which has been the case of your son. So we're repairing, making him feel complete, because when in life you are broken and you're not entire, you're not unhurt, you're not complete, you're not unchallenged, then it's very hard to make something happen, because your soul is not one with the self, one with the body, one with the mind, one with everything. So what I want your son to become one with his own self, so that he can be healed. So being one and being oneness and being the totality, being the holiness, you know, in a sense of being whole and entire, will allow him to bring in his life something that actually belongs to him. So this partner belongs to his life, is part of his faith. And it is not an impossible task to bring that in his life. And you and I are going to talk about it. So I'm actually super excited for you guys.
Good. Thank you so much.
Okay, my angel.
Thank you, Carmen.
Okay. I love you, sweetheart. Thank you for calling me. I'm going to take a break right now. I thank to Rosemary for calling me. What a beautiful soul. Her and her amazing son. Such inspiration to the world. And thank you for having them on my show. Go ahead, and there's so many of you waiting online. I'm going to talk to all of you. I think Linda and the Rose from Canada and the Lauren from California. You guys hold on the line. I'll be with you in a minute.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organisation, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
And I'm back, everybody. And I just want to let you know, and I'm indirectly talking to my producer, who is such a wonderful person, and everybody at OMTime, and it's just amazing, that I wrote a song called We Stand United in the Storm. And this song describes everything we all feel right now. And I even created a video with images that are a reflection of what's happening in the world right now. And you can actually see this video on my Instagram, on my Facebook. If you go to my fan page on Facebook, I have different Facebook, but the one that is my fan page where there's over 100,000 people, that's the one where I have the song, and it's called We Stand United. I want you to listen to the song, but I don't know if my producer sometime in the future can actually have you guys listen to the song. It's not because I wrote this song and I sing this song, but the words and what the message is something that I think is exactly what we need right now. So I'm going to see during the break if we can make that happen sometime in the next shows. And we can end the show with this song so you can everybody listen to it, and it's going to warm your heart and make you feel stronger because we are together. Because we are in a difficult time collectively. But we are not really ready to play the song right now, but my producer is telling me that finally he saw the song, so hopefully I'll be able to play the song for you. But coming back to identifying through chemistry, and then I'm going to go and take Linda, you have to understand that there are some aspects of true compatibility, because chemistry, as I said, is based on the principle that must match between two people to evolve together. And some of the aspects of true compatibility between two people are the following. And I'm going to start taking one step at a time because there's quite a number of them. But I'm going to start by saying two people have done compatibility if they hold the same belief about commitment. So if there's any secret of compatibility, it is that you must be with the person whose definition of commitment matches yours. Is it okay if you both work very hard? It is okay if you have different opinion about politics or God knows but it's okay if you both introvert. But you have to have a similar orientation to the idea of raising kids together, helping the environment, and being bonded, sharing the same passion, and especially what commitment really means. So you both of you have to come in agreement about the concept and the definition of commitment. What it is commitment for both of you has to be identical, has to be similar. That's the first thing. The second thing is regarding family in the same way. So two people have to have the same mindset regarding family, because if you get married to build a family, one person might have a bad relationship with their family, and the other person might have a strong family base. So you always have to understand that your partner's relationship with his family will be sooner or later reflected in your relationship. So the way he treats his mother, his sister, his family will be sooner or later the way he will treat you. So I want you to pay, when you get involved with somebody, pay attention to that aspect. Regarding the family, the same way is essential when it comes to the principle of two people staying together and surviving the test of time in a relationship. And then third, you have to set the same life goal. Is it difficult to keep up a relationship when one partner wants to live in an apartment and the other partner wants to live in a big house with 3 dogs? So you have the material goals must be congruent from the beginning. So you have to have the same idea about your lifestyle. Because if you constantly go in disagreement, those disagreements will sooner or later break the relationship apart. You have to feel that emotional intimacy. I always talk about the chemistry in terms of the physical connection is not good enough. Chemistry brings people together, but what really keeps people together is the emotional intimacy. So remember that. If you didn't know that, that's essential to know. The glue of two souls is emotional intimacy. Two people, if they're not in sync emotionally, there's no moving forward in time. Emotional intimacy goes beyond time, age, appearance, money, social status, hobbies, everything. Because these things will change in time and won't keep you together. See, that's the way I want you. It's essential for you to understand. So bringing emotional intimacy with your partner means being in constant communication by feeling your partner, his desire, his wishes, his emotions, good or bad, and making sure that you participate in his life at that emotional level. Almost like they were your own feelings. Feel your partner. And when you are emotionally intimate with your partner, you're really compatible. Because then you create that strong, unbreakable bond. And where exists emotional intimacy, two people almost vibrate at the same level. So if you don't have that, you can create that. Another thing is sharing parenting methods. If you raise kids, you have to be on the same on accord about how you raise your kids. Then matching money and spending habits, because if one spends like crazy, then the other one is completely, keeping money aside and, doesn't want that luxurious life. And then you come in disagreement about money can be something that can create discord. Like Susan Orman said, opposites attract, but I won't bet my money on financial opposites. And that's so true. That's another thing that is very important. Seeing the world with the same eyes, because if you're not seeing the world together, then if you're a fighter, if you're a go-getter and you get involved with a quitter, I've seen a celebrity couple that I actually counseled at some point. She wanted to be on the top of the world. He was already very famous and he was a quitter. He said, I don't need to fight anymore. I'm good the way I am. And after 7 years of marriage and 2 beautiful kids, they walk away from each other because this was the breaking point. So you see, your mentality regarding the world around should be the same and should be one. Respect is another thing between two person, and tolerating the other person's vice is also significant. Even if you have a hard time, agreeing on your person's problems with smoking or lying sometime or gambling or whatever, you have to detect them early and you have to help your partner, to work against his negative tendencies. Or also settling on religion. You don't have to share the same religion, but it does help if you have the same religion point of view. But compromise is key when it comes to God. That's a big statement. Compromise is key when it comes to God. So 2 people have to run on the same clock, because if your partner works at night and you work during the day, understand that this can sometimes cause a problem. So these are things they have to pay attention when you get involved with somebody, and make a list of all of this. Make a list. And 2 people, they need to show the same level of attention and affection. Because if one will tell you how much they love you, and that the other one has no way of expressing anything, if one person constantly gives and nurture and love and care, and the other person doesn't return, I will tell you 100%, that relationship is not going to survive the test of time. In a relationship, you have to be able to work on apologizing. You have to be able on strengthening each other. 2 people in love have to build each other up and not knock each other down. So these are principles that, to my opinion, will make a relationship work and survive time. So now I'm going to go and talk to Linda. Hi, my lovely Linda. How are you, my dear? Thank you so much for calling me.
Carmen, hi. I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago about my daughter, that we shared an apartment and we split the cost of the rent. And that
I remember, yes. I remember, Linda. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
She did get the apartment with the boyfriend. She moved out a week ago. So now I'm stuck in a situation that I don't have enough money to pay the rent. And I know you told me you didn't moving, so I was wondering how this is going to happen. like, how am I going to get the money? What did you see happening?
Well, we live in a time in which, you know what I mean, nobody can force you out right now. You know, there's a lot, there's even something that is called 3 months or 6 months, pay no rent or something like that. Can you move to a smaller apartment?
No, I can't afford it. I can't do it.
So you can't afford no place to live? No place to live, so your daughter's supposed to pay for you?
Oh, no. See, we shared the apartment, and she put in half the money for the rent, and I have the half. But then she moved in with the boyfriend.
I understand. You know what? Let her move with a boyfriend because she needs to grow up, and she needs to be responsible for being a relationship, and you need to live your life. That's my opinion. And on the other hand, I think that you should find an apartment that is probably smaller in size or something in which you can pay half the rent they used to pay here. Is that possible?
No, it's not, because the rents are so high, and it's not possible. So I just
you can find a smaller apartment because I see you moving in a smaller apartment on a second floor in a different area, and you will be very happy with that place because it's a very neat place. It's not probably that big, but it's very good for you. And you will have
the money to move
through somebody. There's a person who's helping you. There's somebody around your age who's helping you move. You're not moving right away. I don't think you'll be pressured by time. I think you will only move somewhere in the next 3, 4, 5 months, something like that. You'll be able to stay here with no pressure because nobody can force you out. They have no right of forcing nobody who cannot pay rent right now. It's a law.
Won't she take
it doesn't matter. She can take you to court because there are no court and no eviction. I mean, you have to for a moment realize that there's no court. There is no court. They cannot evict nobody. If she tries to do anything to you, she gets in trouble because she's not allowed to pressure nobody. We live in a time in which people who cannot pay mortgages, it's fine. People who cannot pay rent is fine. You have to wake up and look around which world we are living in. We're in a world in which people who don't have money right now, that's why the government gives stimulus checks and stuff like that to help everybody who's in trouble. And you play in that group of people who right now cannot actually afford the rent.
I'm not eligible for any stimulus money or anything, but you're saying that I can stay here?
It doesn't matter. This has nothing to do with the stimulus. This has pretty much you fall in the category of the person who needs to be left alone. And I promise you, this woman cannot take you to court. That's 100% sure. She's not going to take you to court because there is no court.
Okay, and if she does in a couple of months, I won't be able to afford to pay her any money for back rent. You don't see that happening?
I don't think you'll ever pay her anything to this woman. Never. And I don't think she will never be able to hurt you in any shape or form.
Okay, you don't see me having to go back to my mother's, do you? Because remember I told you, like, last year I would never want to live with her?
To your mom, I don't see you going back to your mother. I see you living by yourself in a very nice apartment. That is not a very high floor.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I don't see that. Yeah.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, my dear. Yes, so, you know, for everybody listening, I'm 100% sure I'm delivering you the right information to what I know. For all of you who probably cannot afford a mortgage right now, call your bank. I'm not an advisor. I'm not a bank specialist. That's not what I do. But I'm just listening to the news and I checked this out. And I'm 100% sure I've read the correct thing. And all I know is that as of now, for a number of months, people are okay not to pay the expenses of a mortgage or a rent or anything. And as far as I know, there is no court open and will not be open for a very long time. So I know that. So I don't know if you guys know otherwise. Let me know. But this is the information that I have. And I found it like an affair information. I don't think right now it's a time to harass anybody for money. And that's what this pandemic is teaching us, something about money and greed and the court system and so on and so forth. I do hope that we emerge way better as people out of this pandemic. But I'm going to go and see who else is calling me. I think I have Rose from California. Hi, my lovely Rose.
Hi. It's so nice to connect with you.
Hi, my Rose. How are you, my dear?
I'm doing okay right now. So, I do like working at home right now. And I was wondering, like, if you see, like, how much longer.
Quite a long time.
Yeah.
This will go on for a very long time. It almost like it's going to give you the chance of working from home. You might have that option. And if you enjoy that, and how not to enjoy that, you know? Because you get the same work done without having to go anywhere, without losing time, you know what I mean, on transportation anywhere, you know, putting yourself in a car. It's the nicest, the most pleasant thing to do, you know, and I feel like you will continue like this and you'll be absolutely perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I'm absolutely sure of this, Rose. Yeah.
I spoke to you earlier this year, and you mentioned of a new job coming up, and I remember, like, the description, it sounded great and everything. And I don't know, so I got online yesterday, and the first job I see, I'm like, oh, I'm really interested in it.
Okay.
But then I kind of started pulling back. I think I got, like, scared about leaving my workplace because I do feel, and I hope I'm right, that it is going to be stable.
So you feel that your work where you are right now is more stable, no?
I feel, but I'm not, you know, I guess anyone could say anything could happen, but I feel like, yes, because some of the employees that worked there during the recession in 2008, they were able to stay at the job. They didn't get laid off or anything like that.
Right. There's such a turbulence right now. So a lot of businesses are collapsing overnight. But I do feel like where you are right now, you're safe. Does this make sense?
Yeah. Do you think it would probably be the best thing, even though I probably have a strong
I will not make a move right now. Moving under the circumstance of what's happening in the world right now, I don't think is the wisest decision.
Yeah.
So my advice would be stay where you are.
Thank you. My job is an essential kind of business, and the one I was thinking about going to, it's not an essential business, so of course.
No, you can't afford to make a mistake right now.
Oh, thank you.
No, you cannot afford. Later on, it's a different thing. We speak a year and a half from now. Later on, it's a different. Right now, no. Stay where you are and feel blessed that you have a job No, feel blessed because look at all the people around us, you know. 34 million people unemployed. That is a number that is scary, but it's a real number.
That's why I felt bad about bringing it up, but I was still, like, excited.
No, but you should have to bring it up because it's important to you, and you need to know what are you going to do, and you need to feel that you are blessed where you are, and it's not the time to make any kind of a move. Stay where you are and continue to feel the blessing anytime you receive your payment and say, thank you, God, you know that I have the money right now.
Yeah, I went through the 2008 recession, and
this is way worse than that. Yeah. This is way, way worse. We don't see it yet. This is the Great Depression. Actually, my opinion is this is worse than the Great Depression. It's way worse because it's completely lost control over it and will continue for a while. and it's going to be so difficult to recover, and the time of recovery will be very long, and we might never go back to the way life was. You know, in my vision, you know, life on earth will change when it comes to economy, politics, religion, and everything. This is shaking life on earth in a big way.
Yeah, I'm not being ungrateful. I was just trying, like...
No, you're not. You're not ungrateful. No, you're not.
I'm just trying to create something that...
Absolutely.
But,
no, I agree. I agree with you completely. Yeah.
I went through the 2008, and yeah, I felt it was bad, so this is worse.
Was bad, yeah.
Yeah, that... And another thing, I don't know, it's been like the last maybe 6+ weeks, I've been having this pain that I've never had before.
Where is the pain?
On my left rib side, where a woman's bra band hits, and
right.
I landed.
It's an inflammation. It's inflammation.
I don't know what's going on because
I will tell you to take something that might take it away. Bromelain. Bromelain. Have you heard of bromelain?
Okay. No.
Bromelain. Bromelain. Hold on the line. I'll take a short break. I want to tell you what else I want you to take. Okay? Don't hang up.
Thank you.
Okay.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
I'm Kathy Williams, host of Sexy Mom Abundant Life radio show on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. On the show, we explore living abundantly in every area of your life. Ways to let go of limiting patterns and beliefs and to step into the flow of creativity and possibility, knowing you are supported by the universe.
I'm Fidel Mshombo. I was born in a city called Bukavu in the Congo. We were a loving family, and then, boom, everything that I had disappeared in a single day. People think that when you are a refugee and they resettle you to America, and all your problems are done. They don't understand that that's the beginning of everything. I was not born a refugee. I was made one.
It's time we welcome refugee families with open arms. Learn more at embracerefugees.org, brought to you by the Ad Council.
Yes, I'm back. I'm Carmen Harra. So, yeah, we were talking about, I feel it's an inflammation, in my opinion. And are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So, it's something that I think you should take anyhow because it's so healthy for the body. It's an enzyme, and it's bromelain, BROMELANAIN, bromelain. 500 milligram a day is natural.
Okay.
These are vegan tablets, and you can find them anywhere. They reasonable in price, and take twice a day, and then take together with them turmeric in combination with curcumin.
Oh, okay.
Turmeric curcumin combination is made by Nature Nutrition, and they like around 2,000 milligram a day. So it's a high concentrate. I love it. These are amazing. Do you feel a pain when you move?
I think I feel better standing up than sitting down, but what concerns me is it mostly stays on the left side of the rib cage where the bra band is, but it has moved to the heart. It has moved to the lower left rib cage, and I landed in the ER a couple weeks ago,
It's nothing there from your heart. This is nothing to do with your heart.
Oh, good.
No, this has nothing to do with your heart. That's not the way the heart manifests. It's definitely something inflammatory. And it can be somewhere pretty much in the bone, something there, that causes it. The inflammation causes pain. So try with bromelain and turmeric and curcumin. I was thinking about something else. And it might also be caused about something else. High level of neopinephrine, but for that we'll have to do a special test. And high level of epinephrine. Do you also have a little bit of anxiety sometime lately? Do you feel anxious or no?
I mean, I have times where I'm anxious, and it actually. Well, I did have a situation where I had to take my dog to the vet.
Right. If you feel something bothering you, then the neurotransmitters in the brain, the catecholamine in the brain go at a higher level, amplifying, actually contributing at the inflammatory process to go to the roof. And sometimes they manifest by sweats or a little bit of anxiety, and even sometimes chest pain. Do you also feel your heart racing a bit or no?
No.
So then it's not.
No,
not
but
that.
I had like this prickly feeling in my heart, and that kind of made me feel uneasy.
Right. So then it still can be this. It still can be this. I wish we can do a special test that can determine which of these neurotransmitters in the brain is off or is too high, because that can contribute to inflammation into this pain that is completely coming from there and is not related to your heart. But I think you should start, but do me a favor, start by taking this for 1 week or two and call me back. One of the things that can really help you with the nervous system and with circulation and even with your vision is called taurine, taurine. And it's something natural. Everything I'm giving to you is it's only natural stuff.
Oh, okay,
this
great.
Is nothing medical. This is no medication. Taurine is amazing for circulation, for your heart, for your nervous system. And imbalance in the event that one of the neurotransmitters gets off or is way too high, it controls, it controls the inflammation in the body. So if you take this in combination, there's no side effects. Only good can happen, and you can feel so much better. Do me the favor, do this for 1 week and then call me back, you know what I mean? And let me know. Let me know how you feel a week later after taking this.
I will.
I expect that your pain will completely go away. But if you take them long term, you'll feel way better overall. You'll feel more dynamic, more alive, it just supports the cardiovascular system, and it's extremely, extremely good for your health.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Good.
Is it possible that I could ask you something quick?
Quickly, because
I will. I have to, get another car, and I was wondering if I'd be better off buying or leasing.
I think at this point, because the world is so crazy, I would advise you probably to lease, in my opinion.
Okay.
Not involving in long terms. Buying gets at least for a short term, like 2 years, to see where the world is going. Because under the circumstances, the world is going to such turmoil. When you take a 1-2 year lease, you can walk away from that under the circumstances of what's happening right now. The world is flexible to payments right now. So then I think in 2 years later, you might decide to buy. I think the price of things is going to drop, Yeah.
Because I could lease if I'm able to, normally my job, I do a good amount of driving, but right now I'm teleworking. But as long as I continue teleworking, even for a couple more months, I could probably lease a car.
Right.
And not go over the mileage.
Exactly. You can do that. Think about it and let me know by next week. Sit a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, my
Have
love.
a good day.
Thank you for calling me. You too.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Linda in New York. Okay, who was I speaking right now to? Did I speak to Linda? Oh, to Lauren. Hi, Lauren. Sorry. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Carmen. How are you?
Hi, beautiful. How are you, my love?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. Things are a little bit rough right now.
So good to talk to you. Anything I can help you with? Think of everything that's important for you.
Well, sure. Actually, the reason I'm calling is because the topic of the show today is actually perfect for what I'm going through. I know we've talked a little bit about the situation. Right now, my relationship with my husband has been going, really poorly. And I feel like right now there's a lot of animosity between us. And the situation that we're going through is exactly how you described, like on your show, how you start out with a lot of chemistry and a lot in common.
Right.
You feel like, oh, you're soulmate. You feel like there's a lot, there's a lot of good feelings there in the beginning. And now we've been together for in a relationship for 16 years, and it's like it's gotten, like we're not in love. It's like we hate each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
and you
feel
wake
like,
up after all these years and you look at this person and say, who is this person?
Exactly. I look at why did I marry him? He's a completely different person than I thought he was 10 years ago. And so I'm kind of wondering, where to go in my relationship with him. But then also, we've also spoken about this, that while this has been going on, while my relationship with my husband has deteriorated, I've fallen, back in love with my lover from the past, with a relationship I was in with him before for 6 years. And I've had these, persistent feelings of being in love with him for like over a year now. And I'm just holding out where to go in this, like, should I hold out any hope of this relationship with my ex, materializing?
I feel with your husband now, are you going through a divorce right now or not?
We are not going through a divorce, but we are discussing divorce.
But you are discussing a divorce.
Yes,
I feel like he's so, what I sense like in my heart, thinking about him, like he really claims he wants a divorce. Do you agree with me?
That he?
Yeah, that he is like pretending he wants a divorce. Do you see that?
Like your question is, do I think he really wants one?
Yes.
I don't know. I really don't know, what he's
What
really
is he
feeling.
saying to you? Does he want to divorce or he doesn't want a divorce?
I feel like I'm not really sure what he thinks. I feel like we're talking about it. It's something that we have these really, big fights now where there's a lot of, really angry feelings that come up between us.
You also reconnecting with the man of your past, and you start to bring back those emotions, and those feelings are becoming very intense and powerful. Do you agree with me? That's the feeling I have.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I feel like almost like you can't let that man go and go back emotionally to your husband now because you reconnected back to that man.
Right.
In a big way. So that makes you fight with your husband now and contemplating so much a separation because a side of you wants to go back to that man.
I do, yeah.
And you feel like that's the man for you, and you might be right. I will have to do some bit of calculation. Fortunately, I don't have enough time on the show. I can do that one of the days, I can offer you some minutes free to look into the level of compatibility between you from a different angle and see whether karmically you are done with your husband now and you have some residual karma with the other man that you need to go back and solve that. And I do have a feeling that there's a very powerful chemistry that never died, So you're going back to something that is still alive and is still intense, while the relationship with your husband now is like going on on dying slowly right now. It's on dying mode, you know.
Like you said, dying mode?
The relationship with your husband now, I feel like it's falling apart, really falling apart.
It is, yeah.
While the other one is growing, you know, it's flourishing again, you know.
Right. That's how I feel. I don't know what's going on with him because we haven't been in communication for a few months, but yes, I feel like I'm in love with him again.
So we can talk if you want to give me a call by Friday, and we can chat a little bit, and I'm going to look into from a different angle. It will take me some minutes and look and tell you which is which, and then come to a resolution because I don't have any more minutes on the show. Or if you want to call me next week, whatever works for you best. But send me an email at Carmen Harra, my name, one word, at AOL. And I'll send you my number and you calling me and we'll find the time and then I'll give you some minutes and we can get to the bottom of it. So I have to go to the end of the show. Julia, I am so sorry I was not able to talk to you. And Leilani, you know, you can call anytime. And Julia, I would love to talk to you too. So send me an email and I will find the time to answer all your questions. I'm Carmen Harra, and for everybody, stay safe. I promise you next time I'm going to have you listen to my song, We Stand United in the Storm, a song that I wrote with my sister, and I hope you're going to love it because we need music right now to elevate our spirit. And be safe, everybody listening, and let's pray to make the world a better place. I love you.